I always thought that having a handshake with your wife or with your partner, anytime I see like a couple doing that, I always thought it looked like so cool.
Yeah. So is that you saying that we're cool because we have one? Are you calling yourself cool?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
It's cool to do that with your partner.
Cute.
Yeah, it's definitely cute. Welcome back to the pod, you guys. We are back at it again.
Is my hair cute?
Oh my god, this is a hairstyle that Alia does when she's feeling very cute.
I've never done this hairstyle.
You've done it once before, actually, on the pod.
No, I haven't.
If you watch the pod, scroll back. Let us know which episode Alia did this, because you've done that before.
I don't know if I did this. Maybe something similar, but I don't think. I mean, maybe. And the legs are out because it is hot in here. Summer is here. Especially when we record during this time at this hour, the sun is beaming like right on this side, so the whole building is just hot.
It's very hot right now.
Yeah, and of course we don't have AC. I'm really hoping the next apartment move into, we're gonna have AC, but who knows?
I don't know,
bro. I'm not even trying to think about that because apartment hunting in a city like New York is like no other.
I feel like I've seen a lot of buildings that have like the air conditioning like sticking out of the.
That is true.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, not so nice, but at
who cares about what's aesthetically?
I care. But yeah, let's get into the meat of the episode today.
Let's get right into the meat of the episode.
Welcome back to the What's the Juice pod, everybody. My name is Yoni Koto.
And she is Alia Zaitsa.
Yes, my name is Alia Zaitsa. Welcome back to the pod.
I want to start this episode with, ask yourself, who's your best friend? I
really feel like when you're an adult, best friends don't exist.
That's so false. You have a best friend.
Exist, but I feel like
you just said don't exist.
No, I just mean that the way that we think about best friends when we're young and everybody, like, you have to have a best friend. It's like, who's your best friend? Like, if you ask a kid who's either in high school, middle school, elementary, all those, kindergarten, like, having a best friend is a thing. That's like a big goal in like a child's social life.
Is it a goal though? Is it a goal? Of course it is. To have a best friend?
Yes.
I think it's more so for girls than like,
well, I just know from personal experience that was a thing. And
did you have a best friend growing up?
I had a best friend at different stages.
Okay. Stage one.
No, not stage one. Just like different like grades. You have a different best friend.
So each grade you would change best friends? That's not even a best friend.
For me personally, what happened was I had a best friend, but then they left that school. So it's not that they weren't my best friend anymore. It's just like I got closer with somebody else.
Yeah,
and I wasn't seeing them anymore.
Yeah, it's once you leave school, that's it. The friendship is over.
Yeah. That's a big factor in friendships.
Did you ever wish you had a friend that was just like, you know them since like second grade and you're still cool with them today? When I hear people talk about that.
Oh, like childhood friends that they still know each other?
I'm like, damn.
I don't have anyone like that.
I have friends that I've known for like 15, 16 years.
Okay, but just because you know them doesn't mean they're a friend.
No, they're my friend. Like, they're my friends in Belgium.
I feel like Yoni and I have different understandings of like, not understandings, but like what we categorize as friends. To
you feel like a friend is someone you have to hang out with all the time.
No.
That's what Alia thinks is a friend. Me,
I mean, actually, I guess
I don't have to see you. I cannot see you for years and you're still my good friend. All my friends back home, they're my friends.
I'm not saying they're not your friends, met them. But like you haven't talked to them.
It doesn't matter. They're still my friends. You see, you just confirmed my argument. I don't have to see them.
Maybe it's just because it's using the same term for somebody, but like I can't put someone that I hang out with on the regular, like once a week, a couple times a week, even like twice a month.
Okay.
And I catch up with them and we have a good time and we hang out and talk often. I can't put that person in the same category as somebody that, let's say, I only talk to twice a year and we haven't seen each other in like 10 years.
Okay, but
I can't put them in the same category of friend.
It's because of the different, what do you call it? The distance.
Yeah, but for me, a relationship is something that you maintain.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen my friends in Belgium in so long, and there's 4 particular guys, and those are my best friends in Belgium. And that's it. Those are my friends. Just because I haven't seen them
I don't know. For me, maybe
That doesn't
it's
mean
just
that they're not.
like,
Okay, wait. So just because you don't see them for a long time, that means that they're not your friends anymore?
well, I have no idea what's happened in their life. They don't know shit about
you catch
my life.
up. You talk to them on phone, on Instagram.
Yeah, but what if
groups.
I don't even like them anymore?
Okay,
You know, people change hella.
Okay, so that therefore they may not be your friends specifically for your situation. Me, they're still my friends. Talk to them on a regular. We have a group chat.
Okay,
We
but
talk.
that's what I'm saying. You talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
I've framed a situation where you
Oh.
have a person that you haven't talked to in like 5 years.
Oh no, they're not my friends
That's
anymore.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And you maybe talk to them like once a year when it's your birthday and their birthday.
That shit don't count.
That shit don't count. It's like
Yeah.
it's not that I have a problem with them. It's not that I wouldn't want to, like, if I'm visiting wherever they live or vice versa, I wouldn't be like, oh, I would love to catch up and you hang out. But I wouldn't put them in the same category as someone that I'm like talking to all the time. They know my life, I know their life, etc.
No, I understand totally. I thought you were saying that my friends in Belgium are not my friends because I haven't seen them in 10 years.
No,
I thought you
because
were
if
saying
you
that.
keep in contact and you have talked like a good amount, that's different. I'm talking about somebody that you haven't talked to in like 3 years at all.
No, that's not your friend. That's just someone that you just like.
That was
you got
someone
to
that
know.
like used to be your friend and you were really cool for maybe a few years,
Yeah.
but you just haven't talked. You just lost touch.
Yeah, that's
that doesn't
fine.
make them doesn't make them a bad person or a good person. Anyways, the topic of today's episode is about when these friendships end.
letting go of friends. All right.
Letting go of friendships for different reasons.
For different reasons, I struggle with this very much
Do you?
because, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Can I go now? Or should we just? Did you want to go somewhere
No.
else with that? I struggle with letting go of friends because I don't call everyone my friend.
How
I
do
don't.
you just say that? You literally call everybody your friend.
Because like, what else? What other word am I using? I'm never gonna say, "Oh yeah, this is my acquaintance."
Right. I agree with that.
Like that word, I feel like I don't even say it right.
Acquaintance. You probably can't even spell it. I can't. Can you spell acquaintance? Anyways,
You wanna spell
no,
that
I'm not
right
trying
now?
to do that right now.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I get it. I'm not saying that you can't call everybody your friend, but I do feel like for you, and I don't know if it's maybe for all guys, just like the friendship dynamic is just very different than like women friendships.
How is it different?
No, it's just like it takes much more nurturing and intentional time spent and energy and stuff like that for women friendships to form and to stay the way that they are. Versus for men, they bond over things much more simply. It's not as emotional of a bond.
Why is it emotional for women to like for you to ask for another girl's number? It has to take.
I think it's honestly
it feels like a chore.
I think it's like part of our biology, like our genetic code.
Okay,
you
if
know?
you really vibe with someone that you just met,
Yeah.
she's super cool, and obviously you feel like she likes you as well.
Yeah.
Why is it hard for you to say, "Hey, what's your number? I want to text you," or like, "I'll text you next week," or maybe we should go to this thing next week. You can't ask for
Me
that phone number?
personally, I don't do that because
That is so weird.
I
to
don't
me.
do that because what if she doesn't want to be friends with me? What if it's not mutual?
But I'm saying in the case of it is mutual, you
But
can
how can
tell.
I tell?
You can tell.
You can't always tell. Girls be fake.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Girls be fake, bro.
Okay, so you're scared of the rejection of her saying, like, what is she gonna say? No, I'm good.
Maybe, or maybe she's gonna, or maybe she says yes, and then when you actually like reach out to hang out, she just ghosts you, or doesn't reply.
Okay, and why do you care?
And then maybe you see them the next time, and it's hella awkward.
Yo, if I text somebody,
See all the math that goes on in
it's
here.
so much. I
So
go to a
much.
basketball court, soccer field, skate park. I meet someone. I'm like, yo, you come here often? Like, when are the games happening?
Okay, but
what
are you
times?
trying to
Hold
be
on a
friends with
second.
them?
Can I finish?
Sorry.
I'm not trying to be friends with them. I'm trying to get to know someone. Just have some sort of a contact, especially if I move to a new city, right? Whenever we move to New York City, I'm going to have a friend, right? Maybe like, I don't know, maybe even just the first time I go to a basketball court. Because I'm going to say, hey, I'm new here. I don't have a problem presenting myself as someone who is not from there. as someone who doesn't know the city at all.
That's all I hate.
A person who doesn't know anybody. If I meet someone, I'll tell them how little I know about this place. And then I'll ask them, what's your number? Like, do you come here often? Let me know next time. Text me whenever you come. And it's that easy. I'm not saying he's going to become my friend, but then next time I see him, it's going to be cool. We're going to see. Obviously, you got to see. I don't know him. And he doesn't know me. So with time, you get to know each other. Mm-hmm. But it's not a big deal. And also, at the end of the day, it's just a fucking phone number. And if I text him and he never texts me back, cool. I never even met you in the first place. This was my first time I ever met you in my life. Why do you put so much emotion?
That's what I was going to say. I think like I'm realizing now that maybe for me, whenever I do ask for someone's number or vice versa, or like it feels like I'm not making this commitment, but I'm like going on a date.
What?
For like a friendship. And it's whether it works out or not. And like it just feels much more pressure. I put too much pressure on these things.
Why?
Because I feel like I can't just be...
I know where it comes
I don't know how to be casual friends.
No. It's not even that. It's deeper than that.
What is it?
It's not feeling good enough. Or not feeling... I'm like when you get rejected, mm-hmm. you feel like, what's wrong with me? Like you look inward. You look like, okay,
as
wait,
is
it how I look? Am I not cool enough?
Yeah.
Am I just like, how
not
do I come off?
Exactly.
It's not about whatever you just said earlier. What did you say?
The pressure to like I put pressure on this becoming like a full friendship thing.
Yeah, it's not that.
I think it's a little bit of both.
It's more of the other shit that I said, honestly. And you have to admit, because in order to get over this...
I agree with you, but I would also say that personally, like I do feel like if I'm going to intentionally like hang out with someone that I just met for the first time and we're gonna like hang out a few times, I'm thinking I am already building a friendship. Like it's a conscious thing that I'm doing, that I'm like, I'm gonna go spend time with this person because I really vibe with them and they're really cool, and I am already thinking like I'm trying, like it would be really nice to be friends with this person. But when I say friends, I mean actual friends, like not just I know them and we might hang out here and there. It's like I'm trying to actually form a friendship.
Now that you say that, I'm just thinking in my own life experience, I never really had met someone, and as we're hanging out, I'm thinking, damn, I really want to be that guy's friend. Like, I really want to be his friend. I never thought that.
I have.
I think that's a very different for men and women, because I don't think men are going around thinking, like, I just really, really want to be his friend.
It's not like that. It's not. Like
I feel like it is.
I mean, like a little, but not that extent. But I don't know. Girls, if you're listening, in the comments, let me know.
So is it like I think just wanting acceptance from people, like being good? Because I think I speak for all guys, but I'm not saying that I am. But I think everyone will agree with me when I say that if I get, we don't even use rejection really. Like, all right, cool, he never texted me back. There's other people.
I think maybe it's like, even female friendships, when you are friends with somebody, like from like a girl with a girl, and you have that type of and you have
when a private number calls you,
a private number,
yeah, like like an unknown number,
yeah.
What are the chances for them really, like, for you to pick up?
No, I don't pick up.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Let me not forget my thought. No, I just feel like in the friendships that I've had with women, and then I look at friendships that you have with your like closest guy friends, I just think that like emotionally and like the bond, this is from just the outside, I feel like guys just don't get as deep in a friendship compared to like women.
Yeah, they do. Yes, we do.
I don't know. To me, like...
Okay, wait. So you talk about getting deep into the relationship. You're thinking about like the deep conversations, like someone being vulnerable, showing them like their quote unquote like weaknesses or what they're going through. Just like being more open, right?
The care that you build for this person, and like...
No, guys have that.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Okay. I do feel like now we're talking very broadly.
Okay.
And we wanted to talk specifically.
Okay, let's get specific.
About what happens when, let's say, you do have a really good close friend, like we just described, for either you or me. And at one point, you just feel like this friendship is changing. Something is shifting.
I definitely had experienced that, but continue. What else happened?
No, that's it. Like, you just can like, you can just feel that there's something about you guys hanging out that is just not the same. The energy, the back and forth, you can just feel when some shit is off.
And is this after you guys being friends for a long time, or is it just like from the beginning? It doesn't have to be a super. Oh, no. You've been friends. Okay.
You've been at each other's, like, you've been in each other's lives to a degree that, not necessarily length of time, but I think length of time also just gives you time to become like a certain
closer
level of friendships.
Yeah.
But you're just your good friends. It's like you're part of each other's lives. You've hung out. You've met each other's partners. You've enjoyed hanging out regularly, blah, blah, blah. You've formed this bond. And then it can be for a long time, not a long time, but you just feel like recently, the last, like few months or whatever, you just feel like something has shifted. Has that happened? You've said that's happened to you before.
That's happened to me before. And, I mean, do I get into specifics?
I mean, you can be just like specifics of like what happened. We just like
outgrew each other's, like, I got to a point where I was like, this friendship is no longer like really serving me. Like, I don't get anything from this friendship.
Like, you
and
felt
it happened multiple times
when
before.
You were hanging out. Did you just feel like whatever you were talking about was kind of just?
No, it was one of those friendships that it doesn't elevate me. All it does.
Do you need a friendship to elevate you?
No.
Yeah. No.
Not always. It depends on what kind of friendship. But I got to a point in my life where I need people who are focused. I need friends who inspire me. I need friends who just kind of have have goals. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to say those friends like didn't have goals or anything like that. But
you basically felt like where they were in their personal life and their personal journey.
No, it's just how they thought about certain shit.
Okay, so you started to see a difference of opinion on certain things that just didn't feel like you weren't relating anymore on certain levels.
Yeah, and then anytime we would hang out, I would just think to myself, like, and it's fun. Like, hanging out with this person or with these, a few people, it was always a great time. But I always felt like I was on a different journey. Like, I was on some other shit. Like, I wasn't on the same thing that they were on.
And
like, I wanted to do all these things. Like, I just had found, like, photography. I'm excited. I'm about to go all in on this thing. And I needed to be focused. And I needed to be around friends who
understand that and also share that with you. Because I would say that,
I mean, not share specifically photography.
No. I'm not even talking about
be
share
on
photography.
Some kind of a journey.
Yeah,
like, I love that.
Share like that kind of view of the world and that kind of like drive. But it can be in a different way. It can be like manifested and translated in a different way in their life than yours.
Exactly.
But there's still this certain like energy and intention that they're applying to their life that you also are. That I feel like it's actually really important to share in a friendship.
Exactly. And the grind is the common denominator for all this shit. Like, if we're not going to see each other for like, 30, 60 days, 2 months, they understand because they also either have been there or they're going through the same thing at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I've actually noticed how I'm actually at this point right now where like I have some friendships that I really share that kind of like intentional drive and kind of manifestation, like
some people here hate the word manifestation.
I just feel like now it's just overused. But just having this energy that you're putting into your everyday around your career, around just lifestyle, around goals that you have, if it's like reaching something somewhere or like the goal of like living a good life and what does that look like? I've realized that for me, it's actually really important to share that level of like energy with somebody else, but it doesn't have to be into the same things. I can just tell that this person also has a certain drive and has a certain intention in their life, but it's whatever they choose to put it in, the same way that I choose to put into something else. Yeah. But I've noticed how there's some friendships in my life recently that I feel like that's actually a big thing that's missing. That's a big thing that I'm like, we're not in the same place. And we don't have the same goals and the same kind of like momentum in certain areas in our lives.
So do you feel like it makes, like, how does that get into how does that affect the friendship?
I think it's making me feel like I can't relate to them the same way that I used to. And it's making me feel distant from them for some reason. Because whatever I'm intentional in, if it's my work, if it's my relationship, if it's my life, you know, moving to New York, doing this, constantly kind of like grinding, figuring out, making things happen. I feel like I'm at a big pivotal point in my life right now. And not that everybody has to be that I am friends with, but I feel like if I'm in that type of moment in my life, and I am talking or hanging out with somebody that is so like in a way the opposite, where they're like, everything's the same, nothing's really changed.
I went to the club last night.
Not necessarily. No. I'm not even talking about that. I'm really not talking about that. I just mean in that sense, and we're really not. I feel like I can't even talk about the things that I'm excited for or doing or putting energy into.
Why is that? Why?
Because I feel like if I do, I don't receive back the same thing. And I'm not saying you gotta be like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm not even saying that. But I feel like they're not even interested in what I'm doing because it's so far from what they're doing. And at the end of the day, for some reason, in friendships, you really need a lot of things to relate on.
Yeah. No,
or you
honestly
need also a certain kind of understanding.
If there's nothing that you can relate, if there's no kind of like
common ground.
Yeah, I feel like it makes the friendship like kind of weird a little bit because it's like, okay, we hang out. What do you talk about when you're done talking about whatever happened on TV? Right.
I literally, you know, the amount of times that I'm like, oh, have you guys watched the new Kardashians or some shit that I just like started watching again?
The new Kardashians?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't started watching the new season, but I just mean it's funny to me because you know how I realized that this friendship is not what it's not serving me the way that it used to and the way I kind of need it to. How? Is when I'm thinking in the back of my head, what can I bring up right now to talk about?
Damn.
That's how you know.
That's a shitty feeling when you're hanging out with your friend and you're asking yourself, once we're done talking about this, what else you should not be fishing for topics.
Exactly.
This is not that's so weird. Have you done that?
Yeah. And that's how I'm realizing that this is not what it used to be anymore.
Yeah. But it's also okay. Like if you're hanging out with someone, it's okay to just be quiet at a certain point.
I'm not saying it's not. But there's a different type of silence. There's a comfortable silence, and there's a silence where like what are it's like, you want to go?
Oh, damn, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
That sucks.
Because it might be silent, but was the interaction before the silence even that interesting? Are we even like enjoying this time? And it's not, I don't even want it to come off as like, I don't like them anymore or anything like that. It's nothing against whoever that friend is that I'm growing apart from. It's truly just, there's this type of, the same way that you have like romantic relationships, even just platonic relationships, they need to have a certain kind of spark, a certain kind of interest and relatability, and it has to be there.
I get it. When you're hanging out with someone, you do not want to think about what else can we talk about. That is not.
Maybe when you first meet somebody and you're trying to learn what that common ground is, that's different.
Yeah, that is very awkward.
But when you've been friends for years and for a while, and then at some point things shift, it happens, you know?
Yeah.
And I would say like a big reason why people grow apart could be that just you haven't spent a lot of time together recently because you've just been like busy and haven't prioritized hanging out.
Yeah.
So it could be that you're just not caught up in each other's lives. But let's say you catch up and you still feel the same way. That's where you maybe, it wasn't just that you haven't seen each other in a long time. Because if anything, if you haven't seen each other in a long time, you should have hella shit to talk about.
Exactly. But then also, it's very important not to force friendships. And I feel like a lot of people have tried. I tried to force a friendship when I knew it was over.
Oh, so you had been friends and then it was kind of rocky. I've been friends
with this person, but then I knew for a while that
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And
what makes you want to keep forcing it?
Because some part of me would be like, I'll miss this person. Because I know we're just about to go a separate way, but I'm gonna miss this. But it's nothing against them. It's just that we just can't even,
It's some
and
type of chemistry.
they can be such a great person,
Right.
So it's not even anything against them, and maybe they can feel the same way towards me.
And they probably do. Yeah. I do think that if you feel it, they feel it.
Yeah.
There's no way they don't.
But that's only if they're actually if they're focused on something. It's usually, I feel like people like this usually are the ones who are either focused on something, or they have like a certain vision, or they want to achieve something. Because if you're just out here, because there's also people who, they're not doing all this work and they're just hanging out.
Yeah. And you're saying, what's the difference?
No, so I mean, I feel like a person like that wouldn't mind hanging out with someone who you feel like.
Like you don't need a friendship to be like all that.
No, like a person cannot outgrow you. You can't outgrow someone if you're not growing yourself. Like.
Wait, say it again.
You cannot outgrow someone
if you're not growing yourself.
If you're not growing yourself. So if if you're not doing something yourself personally, you're not trying to achieve certain things. If let's say that was me, I wouldn't mind hanging out with someone and not do shit like all day, or like I don't need to be inspired by anyone because that's not even the type of. It's not in my You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
I get it. It's like you're basically you're good with hanging out with people that you're just hanging out. Like let's say you're doing activities, and I don't know. I would say right now I'm at a specific point in my life where whatever friendships I have, they need to be more than just hanging out.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need to be a little bit more. I need to have this kind of like, I want to grow with them. I want to see them succeed. I'm excited for them for whatever they're doing. And there has to be this kind of like, not that everybody needs to constantly grow or change, or it's not about that. It's about, I need my people to like inspire me in a certain way, but it doesn't have to be inspire me like creatively or something. It's like inspire me in my life.
Yeah. But you also have friends who, in which I have, like in this case, I have friends for different things.
Yeah.
I have my basketball friends.
I think we've talked about this many times, but yeah.
Okay. Should I not talk about it again?
No, go ahead.
I have my basketball friends. I have my photography friends. I have my, I don't know, like fashion friends.
You have friends that you've had for a long time.
Exactly. I have friends who are like, back in Belgium. I have friends here. So it's like, and also I have that friend I can FaceTime and talk about random shit. Then I have that friend that I can call and talk to about things that are a little bit more vulnerable. Or because I can't be vulnerable with all my friends. Like I have certain friends who just don't deal with that very well. So, but that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have someone else I can, talk about these things with. And I don't know. So I feel like it's important to find like I have like these different pockets and they all fill different things that I need. You can't expect to have one friend fill all that shit.
Or for all the people that you meet to fill all those.
Yeah, exactly. Like usually each person you meet will I mean, preferably at least check one box.
Yeah.
Because
if they don't,
if you're not checking
friends.
any box, then it's just like, okay, cool. It was nice playing with you today. I'll see you tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, and that's it. But they do check a box that you play together.
Exactly. So that might be that box right there.
You know, it's like you have that one friend that you just do workout classes with.
Exactly. And that's the friend that I will only call you when we're about to work out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call you about music. I'm not going to call you.
And they probably won't call you about that either.
Exactly.
And it's like a mutual understanding, and it's okay.
But that can still be your friend, no?
Yeah. But see, I just feel like I get it. Yeah, they're your friend, but then I feel like I need a different term for somebody who fills up like all my boxes or like almost all of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you call a best friend. Oh, wait. You want to call it a bestie?
No, I just feel like when someone says best friend, you can't have like multiple best friends. There has to be like one.
Oh, my God. What is this, like kindergarten right now?
Nah. Yeah, I mean, shit, I don't know. Maybe I need to like outgrow that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that there's also there's other reasons why a friendship can, you know, kind of come to its end. I think that growing apart is probably like the most like common one.
That's definitely the most common one.
It could also be that you obviously had a fight about something that you disagreed about.
Yeah.
I've heard of friends that had a fight with other friends because of something, and they basically just the friendship ended. They couldn't come back from it.
I want to say something. There's this thing going around, and it's been going around, that
What?
if you have a good friend, you have to have at least one good fight with him. Because when you come back, you're
stronger.
You've seen the other side.
Oh.
And you come back stronger, and you're like, man, we've been through ups and downs. But when it's just always ups, some people say
It's like something's about to happen.
not even something's about to happen, but it's just like, how can two individuals always be so perfectly fine when you have two different personalities, two different brains? At some point, you have to disagree on something. At some point, you got to have some type of a friction.
Huh.
And that's only human nature. So I wonder if that's actually like true, you know?
I don't know. I mean,
Just like in a romantic relationship,
yeah.
nothing is ever 100% at all time. There's always
So-
like, oh, damn, we had a little fight the other day.
Would you say that then if you have a friend that you haven't like had some type of disagreement like that with, they're not like your true friend? Or
No,
they're-
that's not true. Because I have
disagree with
friends.
that.
I have friends who we've
never-
never had like a fight.
Yeah.
But I kind of
Maybe-
envy the people who did have fights with their friends,
What?
and then when they come back, they're like stronger than ever. I'm like, damn, that's kind of, it's nice that you've seen the other side of that person and how they deal with it.
How they deal with like being mad at you or something.
Yeah, being mad at you, and it shows you also what kind of a person someone is. Like, okay, we fought, and then like you can be the bigger person and not always feeling like you're always right about something. Like, I would call somebody even if I know I was like wrong for whatever situation, but I know that it kind of ruins the friendship. I will still call the person and apologize for what happened, but then actually just talk about it as like, you know, grown men.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like I haven't dealt with that really. Like confrontation is something that is hard for me to deal with just because I don't know how to respond in a way. Like if somebody calls me up and they tell me like, hey, I didn't appreciate how you did that, whatever, I think it's something that I need to work on, but I become like defensive, which is not productive, you know? And then it ends up, but then I have to it's like my pride gets the best of me instead of like accepting, like not defeat, but kind of like accepting defeat of like, I was wrong in like what I said and I did hurt them or I did do the wrong thing in the situation.
Yeah.
And I haven't really had that with friends. And I can see how that can like put it under a test and like it can strengthen your friendship. But I also would say that like it is possible to be friends with somebody and you just have never really like had a disagreement that went all the way into a fight.
Yeah. I mean, being the part where you said being accepting your like wrongdoing, I think that applies to just like life in general.
Yeah, I mean that applies to this relationship right here.
Yeah, no, it's Because that can like really, I feel like some relationships even end like that also. It's like one.
Like romantic ones?
Yeah,
or any
romantic
kind,
one or
I
any
guess,
kind. Like just because someone had, the pride got the best of them, they will let a friendship go to waste. They will do that at the cost of like, I just want it to be right.
Yeah. I think your mic is falling off.
Yeah. Damn.
Hold on. I'm going to check if the camera's recording. No, I think you have to like push it back in. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties over here. But yeah, I mean, I would say that a fight can definitely end a friendship for sure. I'm glad I have not really had that. And I mean, I don't know, like, what do you do? So now that you can tell that your friendship is changing and maybe you've tried to kind of like remedy it or help it or like hang out with them, or maybe you're like, oh, maybe we just haven't spent a lot of time together, so let's like hang out more and kind of get over this like weird patch. But maybe that doesn't change anything and you realize this friendship is, maybe this is just it, like, it's just not happening.
Yeah, it depends on what the argument was also.
No, sorry, I meant more in like the you're growing apart aspect of like, you can feel that your friendship has changed and maybe you try to figure out like what happened. Do you talk about it? Do you bring it up? Do you tell them like, hey, I've noticed that like we've kind of been weird or something?
Yeah, with my friends, I will do that.
Would you?
I will do that. Like if I said something messed up, let's say we're in a group setting, right? And then something comes up, and then I would be like, oh yeah, he does that all the time, and I kind of throw that person under the bus.
Like he said something that just didn't feel good to them.
Yeah, I would either apologize right there in front of everyone,
because you would be able to tell.
Yes, or just right afterwards. I was like, yo, my bad. What I said, it wasn't. I don't know. If I do it in front of other people, I will also apologize in front of everyone. That's very important. But I love apologizing. I don't have a problem with that. And babe, I'm telling you, that's going to be like a life changer for you.
Yeah.
And when I do something wrong, I'm going to apologize. I'm not going to try to say, yeah, but it was kind of your fault too, because I can see I fucked up. Because trying to like say, but it was kind of your fault too because you did this. So that's why I did that wrong thing that I did. It's like just because someone does something wrong doesn't mean that I don't know. It's like...
Okay, but wouldn't you say sometimes people can be like a little too sensitive to things?
Too sensitive?
That like if you're just joking about something...
I can never say that, too sensitive. Because I don't know what hurt you. I don't know your life. Like I don't know what...
I mean, if they're friends.
Yeah, but I don't know... If you tell me that I hurt you, I'm never gonna say, but like you're too sensitive. I hurt you. That's it. Who am I to say, but you should be stronger than that? Because they're not.
Yeah. No, I guess you're right.
And even just like with saying sorry or knowing that I'm wrong, I feel like just things like that is really gonna like it changes everything.
Yeah.
It really changes everything.
It really sometimes really feels like it's like biologically not possible for me to like.
You can do that, babe. I'm telling you.
I'm sure that I can. It's just it's easier to say than do for me.
And also too, it's knowing that you're wrong about something. Like I never got that. When somebody tells me I love when people prove me wrong.
I just think maybe again it goes back to like the way that I grew up to where like
it has to be.
It's like losing to something like that. It's like being wrong. You're thinking like how satisfied the other person is that they proved you right, and it's like a whole thing.
What?
It's a whole thing. Anyways,
I think that's definitely like some childhood
just
stuff.
because it is some childhood stuff doesn't mean that I can't fix it.
No, exactly.
You know? I know, and it's
and you are, and you actually got a lot better.
But still got a long way to go.
Still got a long way to go, but you got a lot better since I first met you.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, and also just so since we're here on this thing, when people always talk about like relationships and like there's always things like this that I think are very important to. We have to understand each other. So like I know that maybe like you're dealing with like I know that about you, about the saying I'm sorry and knowing that you're wrong
for me.
Yeah, Those are two things that are like.
So you knowing that that's a thing for me, what does that mean?
Okay, what does that mean is that, so whenever we are in a situation and you are defensive or you're not saying sorry or you apologize but then say, but it's also your fault, because I never get mad.
Because you know it's something that
because I know that even while you're doing that thing, you know in your head that I shouldn't be doing that.
Which is true.
You know, so I never.
Also, you take comfort in that.
What do you mean take comfort?
Like you take comfort in the sense of like, even though I might not like outwardly tell you I am sorry or that I'm wrong, you know that I actually know I'm wrong.
Yeah, I know when
so
you're...
there's this certain like cushion to that for you.
Yes, like I know that, obviously, because you know wrong from right. Like you know what's wrong, you know when to say sorry, but to you it's literally like verbally you just can't.
It's like admitting to that to you.
And I'm not saying that's a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing.
But
I do get what you mean though. You have that context about me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm just in my head I'm like, it's fine. That's why it never turns into anything bigger. Because sometimes like when I'm really annoyed
and I'm being unreasonable,
I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah. So
wait, I want to know something. Like, what's something like that for me that I have?
What?
That you know that I always do in this relationship.
That you always, or that you don't do, but I know you want to do.
Don't do,
but like on the inside.
Yeah, or maybe this is not the wrong. This is like off topic.
Yeah, it is off topic. I mean, we had a few moments like that. I don't know. I mean,
okay, that's fine. I don't
think you really have anything like that.
And that also comes with age.
Yeah.
Because I can't say when I was 24 that I was reasonable or was I don't know.
Yeah, you probably were.
Yeah, probably was. Shout out to my dad. He
instilled that in you, huh?
Kind of, yeah. I would say so.
Well, I would say, aside from like talking about it with your friend, let's say you do talk about it and maybe they deny the fact that you're not like super close anymore, because sometimes it's a hard thing to accept, you know, just the fact that you're not close to each other and that you're not like your friendship has changed, is not what it used to be.
What do you mean accept? Like it is what it is.
I know, but sometimes you might try to work on it. You might try to like go back to how things were.
Okay, but when you do that, it's not verbally said, hey, I'm
saying, let's say you do address it. After you address it with your friend.
Who addresses that?
That's what I just asked earlier. I was like, do you talk about it? Do you tell your friend that you feel like something's changed? Like, are we good?
Okay, yeah, you can ask that question. You know, are we still good? Is everything all right?
Okay.
But we're not talking. We're not saying, hey, I noticed in the last couple of months we haven't really been.
No. I mean, you don't necessarily have to say it like that.
Yeah.
But just the saying, like, are we good? Like.
And maybe you could say it like that.
You could. I would say, like, I would probably, if I am going to have the conversation about our friendship, because I'm feeling like something is off, I'll address everything I'm feeling. I might as well. If I already opened that door of being like that uncomfortable, like, weird feeling, saying just like, I feel like something's off between us. Like, that would be
so awkward. I feel like
it would be awkward, but I think it's also necessary, and it shows growth as a person. Like, you should be able to address that. If you address that in romantic relationships, why not address that in friendships?
Awkward situations like that really make you grow, I feel like.
Yeah, individually, but maybe also your friendship. But so let's say you do address it in that way, and the other person is like, either they say, oh, really? Like, I didn't realize you were feeling that way, but I'm good. Like,
completely unaware?
Maybe. I'm giving an example. It could be that. Or it could be that they're like, oh, no, same. Like, I don't know. It's been feeling kind of weird, right? And they kind of like are on the same page with you. But then after that, you're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I'm glad we talked about this.
No, so
like,
what do you do? Okay, so you mentioned, I feel like this, we haven't really been on the same page. And then your friend was like, you know what? Me too. It's been kind of weird lately. What do you do? What's the next step? Like,
well, the next
did
step,
something happen?
And you would talk about it. You're like, did I do something? And then the person's like, if there isn't anything that happened specifically,
the friendship's over.
No, if like one person did maybe like do something to the other person and the other way around, there's like no one specific moment or thing you can identify, then you can just be like, Oh, I don't know. Like, you can say that. You can be like, did you? Because you would be like this, right? I would say, did I do something weird? And then the other person's like, no. And then they would be like, did I do something weird? And then the other person would be like, no. Then you would just probably say, okay, well, maybe it's just that, like, we need to hang out more, or like something. I can see myself having a type of conversation like that.
Okay. But I think usually something did happen. Maybe in a group setting, you said something,
and maybe that
the other person didn't like, or maybe you maybe accidentally like disrespected them in any kind of way, right? But they never told you. It's been a year or so, but they just always just held that with them.
Or maybe you feel like you're always the one asking them to hang out, and they never ask you to hang out. Some shit. It could be some small shit like that too.
Yeah. So I feel like communication is key, as we always say.
Yeah.
Even with friendships.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can even be better at that with friends. You know, sometimes when I drive from like anywhere on my way home, or maybe on my way to somewhere, and I do feel chatty, I will call like every single one of my friends that are like here, you know, like literally go down the list. It's four people, right? And I'll just call them one by one. Like, boom, talk to them for a little bit. All right, talk to the next person. Kind of like just check in like that, you know? And I do that a lot, I feel like.
That's good.
You know, just checking in, not even saying anything specific. Like, I'm just calling like, what you been up to? I don't always call my friends because I have to tell them something.
Right.
You know?
But it also doesn't have to be a long ass call.
No, it doesn't. It can be 2 minutes and then that's it.
Yeah.
One of them
it doesn't make you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
That it's like a short call.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Those are your friends.
Right. You have to have that like trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you FaceTime? You don't like to FaceTime people, right? I'm so happy every time you FaceTime me because I'm like, oh, dang. Because you used to hate FaceTiming. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't like talking on the phone, period. But I would say that I would say like, it's, as I said earlier, like the door is open in that moment when we're having that conversation of like, what's up? Like, are we good? And then you kind of are like, you open that door of like, let's talk about our friendship, and like, is our friendship good? Are we good? Like, is there anything wrong? And if that door is open and there is something that did happen on either side, and the person chickens out and doesn't have the guts in the moment to address that thing that bothered them and is the reason why the friendship is kind of weird, they missed opportunity. I mean, not that they can't bring it up again, but then if they don't mention it, and then that door closes in that moment, and they go on about the day, and they hang out and they leave, and then they finally bring it up 2-3 months later or whatever, it's kind of weird. The other person's gonna be like, bro, why don't you? Yeah, I asked you. Like, why did? And then I feel like can fuck up your friendship.
You seem like such an intense friend for people listening. Like,
am I an intense friend?
I don't know. Like, bro, I asked you 2 months ago. Like, what the fuck did you not answer me?
No, I would just feel like maybe that shows that that person's not comfortable enough to tell you how they're feeling.
Some people are also just not comfortable talking about feelings.
That is true.
And I have a hard time with that.
With people that can't talk about
like
their
if I'm
feelings.
vulnerable with you,
and you're vulnerable with everybody.
Exactly, but sometimes to a fault. Sometimes I feel like I'm vulnerable to the wrong people.
So what happens?
Like, I will tell them how I'm feeling about whatever situation, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell that it makes them uncomfortable.
Okay.
Because I'm like really vulnerable, you know? Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem being that way. And I feel like more guys should be like that. Because all guys always think I can't show emotions. I can't cry. I can't have my friends back. I can't tell my friend that I love you. Like, guys have a weird, you know, I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yo, we all have feelings, man. Like, everybody that goes at night has feelings. No, everyone that goes home at night or goes to bed at night.
So everybody
has feelings, and they feel a certain way. Like, if you don't have like feelings about anything, I don't even want to be your friend. Like, you need to be able to talk about your feeling.
I need a certain level of like emotional capacity.
Exactly. Because if I just have a friend and that was another thing, like with the friends that I talked about before, there was no vulnerability. Like I would tell them about what I'm going through and the hard times, whatever. And they wouldn't really, and I'm not saying you gotta tell me all your things that you're going through.
But still.
But I always just feel like they're not, it always felt like the wrong person to talk to. You know?
Because when you do open up about that, something like that or whatever it is that you're feeling, you want the other person to be like receptive.
I want them to listen.
To listen, but also not just actually listen. Like there's a way that you receive whatever that person's telling you and you show them that you received it.
And that you care.
Yeah. Yeah, because somebody, you can say like, oh, but I listened to you. I heard everything you said. But that's the same.
It's not enough.
Hearing and listening is different.
You can listen to, I just listen to you. It's not enough, honestly.
Yeah, you can't just like hear what I'm saying.
And I'm not telling you got to come and solve all my problems and just be like my backbone. I'm just, you know what I mean when I say you need a friend that you can be vulnerable with. It's very important. So if you're a guy and you listen to this shit, it's okay to be vulnerable. I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like, oh, preachy, but it's so true. And you feel so much better because you're just out here just living life like a regular human being.
Yep.
You know?
I agree with that.
I can't stand a guy that's like, can't be vulnerable with like his friends. It's like, I don't know.
Because he would. He just is not letting himself.
What do you mean he would?
Like everybody has vulnerability in
yeah,
them.
but he's not, because he thinks it shows weakness.
Yeah,
actually
all that.
It shows like strength. Like, yo, Yoni's not scared to talk. That's like so refreshing when I see someone be vulnerable, especially like even on the internet or like you putting stuff out. It's like, you know, so if you're listening out there and you're vulnerable to your friends, good job, you know, honestly.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And that was it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like there's so many like different circumstances, scenarios, and at the end of the day, I feel like there's many ways that you can let go of a friendship. You can talk about it. You can maybe you're okay. Like maybe it actually, not that it feels good, but you're kind of like, I'm content and good with the place that this friendship is going towards, where like, I don't think I want to go back to the friendship that we were at before. Like you're okay with the fact that you grew apart and it is what it is. You feel like you don't have it in you and you don't want to address it to like try to fix it. I also think that there's that scenario as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And from there on, I feel like you just accept it and maybe you slowly just kind of like not talk anymore or like only hang out in like groups, or it's kind of one of those like, I'll see you when I see you. And not that there's anything like, there's no like bad energy between you two.
Bad blood.
I was gonna say bad blood, but it sounds like so actually.
It's okay to say bad blood.
There's no like beef or anything.
Beef? Someone listening who doesn't know what you mean, they probably think you're talking about beef, like the food.
No, beef as in like a feud, like a fight or bad things. Yeah. And you might just ghost them low key. Just be like, yo, it is what it is.
Yeah, ghosting is a form of art. Actually, do you want to translate for the people who don't know what ghosting means?
Oh, ghosting. I was just gonna say, does ghosting count when like neither of you reach out to each other?
No, it's one party.
Yeah, it's when like one person, if I reach out to this friend to like see what they're doing, whatever, and they just never reply to me, and then let's say I do it again and they don't reply to me, they ghosted. They
ghosted you, so they became a ghost and you can't see them.
Yeah.
I want to end this podcast with a question.
Okay.
But I don't know what that question is.
Oh, okay. I thought
so.
It was
kind of like
clear.
About everything that we just talked about, right? So.
Friendships, letting friends go, where friendship is just like...
We should say, what do you consider someone a friend?
What?
That was so wrong.
I wouldn't know how to answer that.
What makes a friend a friend?
I like that question.
Okay, let us know in the comments. What does someone has to do or to be a friend?
Whoa. What does someone has to do to be a friend?
What?
That's what you said.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. So what? Yeah.
I feel like you just confused it so much more.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
What does someone have to do to be your friend? to be considered your friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple. If you want to write a paragraph, I will read them and respond. If you want to say, honestly, this is too much thinking for me, I understand.
This is too much for a Wednesday, all right?
Yeah, too much for a Wednesday.
Fair
enough. Thanks everybody for listening. Shout out to your dog if you're listening.
Shout out to you for tuning in every week. And if you were a first-time listener, this was your first episode of What's the Juice Pod. Thank you so much for clicking, and thank you so much for sticking around if you made it all this way.
If you made it all the way to the end, yes.
We appreciate that. We hope that you stick around for the future episodes, and we also have many old episodes.
We have many old episodes,
Yeah, so I think that's it. You know, we're about to head out, get some food. I am hungry.
I need to be
I
need to be somewhere out, like outdoors. That's it.
Yeah.
We've been working all day, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I still got work to do after this because I got to edit some photos.
Yeah, but we got to get that food in. So
yeah. And also I want to say thanks for everyone for commenting on my Subway photo.
Oh, yeah. Great. I can't wait to have that photo in our next house.
That photo it's in black and white. I posted it on my Instagram, and it's just a row of people all looking down at their phones.
In the subway station.
Yes. You have to go to my Instagram and look at it.
It's so good.
And it will be available for print on my website.
Yes.
One day soon, hopefully. And if you want it, we'll send it to you signed, maybe, right? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel like you signed the back, though.
Yeah, not on the photo.
I mean, you know, like painters, they sign the front.
No, yeah, I'll sign it in the back if you want it. Anyways,
guys, see you later, alligators.
Bye. I hate when people say that. It's so funny. Alligator, like what does that mean even?
It just rhymes.
Rhymes?
Yeah.
Later,
see you later, alligator.
Okay, guys, we gotta go now.
Okay, bye.